Good morning everyone. Welcome to my new build, where I have spent about a week building around 900 machines. Let's start the tour, shall we? Right over here is where I gathered all of my resources. Crystal, bauxite, deuterium, gold, iron, silver, copper, and there's a bit more. It's all the way over there. First off, to the left you can still see my 50 modular frames per minute. I decided to stay close to that because my end goal was building pressure conversion cubes, but I ended up building a lot more. On the left here is my pure deuterium, pure copper. I decided to keep all my raw resource processing close to the coast because that's where the resources come in. That was a mistake due to the length of the belts that I needed to make. Lots of open water, wider walkways than in the other build. This is iron, I think. Yeah, iron. Screws. I figured I'd try something new here. Iron rods to screws. I think it looks pretty fancy. And the screws go into rotors over here. Across this water is my oil refinery. You saw the oil pipe in the start. I decided this is much closer to where I came from, so let's just do it here. Oil turns into heavy oil, turns into fuel. Turns into plastic. Pretty sure this is coke. No, rubber. This is the coke I need for the aluminum. That bit of rubber is residual rubber from the polymer resin going into plastic, going into more rubber. There's this plastic. Yeah, rubber. The build got so out of hand, I'm not entirely sure what's where anymore. There was some logic to the build, but it got lost at some point. Here are iron pipes. Hey, that's not. Oops. Stators. One of the few vertical builds I did. It's iron wire, copper wire, iron wire. There's 65 constructors, and I figured it would look neat if I built up instead of sideways like everything else. Let's look here first. This is my bauxite, as you can see. Alumina solution, aluminum scrap. They're all nice and full. It works much better here than it did in the other factory. And again, smelters. 21 smelters per tower. 1200 ingots per tower, except the last one where half of them is turned off. I just had the blueprint and only hooked up half. I don't want to recycle the water that I get from the scrap, so I just burn it off with coal. The water recycling for aluminum is so finicky. If you have 1% too much, it stops. If 1% too little, it stops. I just don't bother with it anymore. This little island here is for aluminum plates, alclad aluminum sheets. This is for alclad aluminum casing, alternate recipe. As you can see, it's going off there. Over here we are producing motors. Running a bit short on rotors, but we'll have to manage. Electromagnetic control rods. Silica that I brought in from the quartz cave over there. There's also some salmon there. For circuit boards. Yeah, there's my copper. These two rows are copper sheets, by the way. This is all copper, pure copper ingots. These are copper sheets. Over here we're building computers. 2 alternate recipes, Ethereum computer and manufacturers. And crystal computers and assemblers. They're a lot of work to make. We'll get to these soon. Pure crystal. I had to make it pink. Ended up looking not too bad, honestly. Now what does look bad are these 2 machine parks. Caterium wire. I don't like the Caterium color. It's pretty dark right now, so you can't see how bad it really looks, but I don't like it. But I have to keep up the theme, right? And green for AI limiters. Pretty arbitrary. I forgot why I picked it. And they don't all have to be pretty. This is my pride and joy. You've already possibly seen my small tour of this build. 56 manufacturers. I love the color. 56 manufacturers producing 103 crystal oscillators. I hate these things. I think the oscillators are ugly. But I needed them. So there you go. Over here, also yellow because the radio control units are also yellow. And I just really liked it. Another 40 manufacturers. Honestly, it didn't take long to build at all. With a good blueprint, it's pretty fast. The one on the left here we'll save for last. I'm also really happy with all the power towers that I've been making. I still want to place a few more. They came out really well. Gives a nice industrial look. I'm also not going to put walls up like I did in the first build. I really like the open factory look like this. Batteries, which I needed for the... I'm not even sure what I needed them for. Supercomputers. Again, most of the belts underwater. There's some clipping. I got really tired, but they're pretty good. Turbo motors. Sink island for the end products. The turbo motors, the radio control unit, the supercomputers. Drone island to send it all back to my home base. Which isn't nearly as pretty as this one. I'm kind of sad, honestly. And the reason I started all this in the first place. Pressure conversion cubes. I am building... I'm producing 30 pressure conversion cubes per minute, 10 supercomputers, 10 radio control units, and 10 turbo motors. And I am so proud of all the work I've done. It only took about a week. It was pretty grueling sometimes, just getting the belts past each other underneath, because you have so little room. Let me show you. You have so little room to work with before you fall into the water, and then nothing works. So underneath the foundations you're clipping a lot, and it was horrible. One trick I did for things I didn't have in storage yet is just put a dimensional depot underwater as well. Oh, wrong one. Clipping it and nudging it down. Works like a charm. So what do you think? Are you impressed? Do you like the way it looks? Is there anything you would like to see? I would love to hear from you in the comments. Thank you so much.